Howdy folks, this is Brian Miller from Project 52. I'm going to show you a couple little tips and tricks that I use in Adobe Lightroom. Here I am in the Develop module with a raw image of some green onions that I shot recently. The first thing I do when I look at an image, I check the exposure. This one looks pretty good. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So we all know that the sliders work by clicking and dragging left or right, but I want to make a really fine adjustment here. So one way I do that is I put the cursor right over the point on the slider and hit my down arrow key. And I can bring it down just a tiny bit. If I want to keep going, I can keep hitting the down arrow key or hit the up arrow. But it's a good way to make small incremental adjustments. If I want to make adjustments a little bit larger, I can hold the shift key and hit the down and up arrow. Make much larger adjustments without having to use the mouse. In this case, I'm going to leave it right there. Now I'm going to turn on my shadow and highlight clipping alerts by hitting the J key on my keyboard. I want to find where my shadows clip, so there's a couple ways to do that. I'll hold down the shift key and click and drag the black slider to the left until I see the blue highlight alerts appear. It's okay to have a couple in there, but you don't want too many because that's just straight black in your image. There's no detail. I think that looks okay. There's another way to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this slider by double clicking the name, sending it back to 0. This time I'm going to hold down the shift key and double click the name of the slider, and it's going to automatically bring it down to where the shadows just start to clip. Makes for a very good starting point. I'm going to do the same with my whites. I'm going to hold down the shift key, double click the name, brings my whites up to where they just start to clip. I like the overall look of the image, and I think these white parts are a little bright, so I'm going to grab my highlight slider and bring it down a little bit without using my mouse. So I'm going to place the cursor over the point on the slider, hold down the shift key, hit my down arrow, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to turn my highlight alerts off, look at the image, and I think that's a pretty good starting point. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.